Yeah. Can you believe that they not only let me, but basically made me dress like this to go through an airport in 2020? They still have these weird rules about masks that don't really make sense. I mean, if you've ever studied virology of the virus, it's about 3,000 angstroms. A mask hole is definitely not good enough. But, you know, baggage claim for all other airlines. Okay. Well, so they make you think that you have to be in a mask. So, if you all have noticed, when I wear my plague mask, right? Hope you get the difference. One is to protect you from the plague. The other is to remind you that this whole thing is a charade and a masquerade. Okay, baggage claim. How's it going, buddies? So yeah, basically, it's a lot safer than they let you think. It's really fucking easy to fly anywhere. It's a fucking sky bus full of space reptiles. But, baggage claim. Where's the baggage claim at? Thank you. That way? Thank you, man. See, like, do you see that? You gotta give me a thumbs up for my mask. Like, real talk. Like, I'm following the rules. TSA, love it. It's ridiculous. Freaking ridiculous. Let's see if some comments are going through here or anything. What? I was just off to get to the computer, and then Twilight Mist says, live, all of a sudden, mission aborted. So, yeah, any questions, comments, or concerns? Let me hold up here for just a second. I'm in the San Francisco airport. What else? Well, I just got out of Minnesota, Megasoda, and it's a place I will definitely be going back to. But as you know, the world is changing fast, and there's a lot of things that we all have to do. You know, we all have some responsibilities, and Saturday is the day that begins the, God, where the heck is the baggage claim? Hey, you remember where the baggage claim was? Did I miss it? Down there. Oh, okay. Oh, I see the word now. There we go. That helps. William says you look nice. Thanks, William. I know, right? And it's legal, and it actually covers your face better. It's crazy. See what I mean? People are happy. People are happy people in San Francisco. Where are we? San Jose? I don't even remember where I freaking landed yet. I have to get outside just to see. It says SFO. Yeah, we're SFO. The bigger Boulder airport, but I think the San Jose airport's underrated. Really, it has some pretty good arts. And yeah, just in case you ever get in any, if anyone gives you any trouble, you know, that's how you know. You can pretty much do that anytime you want. I've never been asked to do that yet, but I just figured, you know, like they said, you have to have a mouth covering. Somebody said, I thought, you know, I assume too much that they're gonna try harder, but no, they don't really care about doing stuff. This guy. All right. Kids be skating. So, all right, now I got a little spot to sit. I'm gonna put my laptop back. This is the biggest bummer of the trip, really. I'm gonna have to super glue the handle to carry my laptop back. But like, things are so much easier than they ever used to be. But now they charge you to like have a carry-on because they assume you're gonna have a purse. So I was like, okay, well if then I bring this as my freaking purse, you know. So I got my purse, my man bag, whatever you call it. Then I got my usual with its I can even see that. Where's my seashell? Dangle it a bit. There's like, there you go. You can almost see it. You can't quite see my seashell. I guess I could take it off, but it's almost worth it. Okay, so it's written on the walls. So what are you doing back on the West Coast? Okay, all right, so questions and answers. So basically, Minnesota, one of the greatest places in the world. Minnesota miracle, you know, like 10 touchdowns, like the Vikings, very amazing people. So I'm taking a hiatus. Wouldn't say it's my end of Minnesota. Megasoda, really. Just so great there. But Saturday begins mask wearing in Minnesota. They're gonna start making everyone wear them anyway. And there's a war on, so I figured it'd be a good time to visit my family before things get like too much weirder. All right, here we go. Now I get to start picking up my luggage. All right. Oh yeah, I should go stand here because it looks cool. No tailgating, man. What do they even mean? Like, am I tailgating right now? Or do I have to be like pulling like luggage? Dude, really? Check that out. 666 right in the middle of those numbers. Just saying. Just saying, man. Just don't think I'm lying. It's weird. It's weird, isn't it? Well, okay. So we got kids back in California on skateboard. Let's see. What am I going to do? First off, some things you can only do in California. I have several friends who have some businesses. I'm going to try to attend to some web design, get some tech rat work done so I can afford to live. And I'm going to try to hit up San Luis Obispo and see some people that I haven't seen in a while or yet even, like Brett. Brett, I'm going to try to visit you because you're in San Diego. Other people in California who I've said I was going to visit, go ahead and reach out. And I probably will make time if I have time while I'm still here. And yeah, I mean, like, what? If I was just planning on telling you everything, I would have already told you I was doing this and why I'm doing it. So don't be too confused, but, you know, hey, Eva, or is it Ava? That's a good question. I asked a good question. I can't be sure it wasn't Ava. That's a reasonable name. All right. So, this is actually an underrated thing. This wheelie backpack. I mean, like, come on. Is that my bag? Is that it? Looks so tiny. Looks so tiny. Could be it. I don't know. Let's see. Oh, trade and relationship. Trade agreement relationship. TAR. Have you guys heard of this yet? TAR. Right? So this is something I've been thinking about a lot. The TAR between two countries is very strong, or it's very unstable. That's like, you know, that's an interesting way that they use the word TAR. The UN used that term, the ICC used that term. So something that came up recently was this idea of an advancement, recent Tartarians, advanced philosophy. It's kind of marrying the ideas of recent and advanced, because as you realize, the third world, this is a conversation worth having. Apparently a lot of people think the third world means third class. It's like you guys saw Titanic and think the third world is like the third level of the boat. Third world comes from this. World 1 was the old world, developed already. And what do you call something not developing? Not developing country? Stagnating country. So the stagnating imperial first world. Then they have the second world. They're like, okay, well, the new world's going to be great. It'll be the second world. It'll be a Soviet world where everything's better. It wasn't. So then they've got Tito. And Tito says, do I want to be, you know, part of World 1? Do I want to be part of World 2? No. No, we'll be the third option. World 3, right? The third world. So the third world comes out of this idea that we can have denim from America and rock and roll and social dentistry or whatever the hell, you know, kind of things that they thought would be valuable in a socialist country. So it's not a socialist country. It's not third world like it's bad. And this idea that developing, I mean, come on, dude, if your country's not a developing country, you're a stagnating country. You do not want to be. Is that my bag? Is that my bag? Oh, not that one. That one. Is that my bag? I think that's my bag. One bag, two bag, red bag, blue bag. I don't know, man. I think so. Yep. There you can always tell by the wires, man. The wires really give it away. All right. Cool. All right, so I got my bag. It's a huge start to things. And, okay. So, third world Developing world, stagnating worlds are bad. You want to be third world, you think, right? Third world is better than first world, at least. That's true. But do you want to be third world? Well, let's talk a little bit more about the fourth world. Sorry, I just broke the law. Anyway, the fourth world is really the best world. You can be fourth world in Cambodia or in Vietnam. You can be fourth world in the first world. You could have an autonomous zone in the first world. Pretty hard to do that in the second world, though, because everything's owned by the second world. So third world, you can do that. First world, you can do that. Fourth world relies on the technology and the development and the progress made in developing nations like the third world. So it also focuses on sovereignty and autonomy. So for instance, Oklahoma right now is, I think Kansas and Oklahoma are going to become 51% Indian reservations. That makes them the fourth world, right? Because they're run by Bureau of Land Management, BLM. They're controlled completely. It's not a democracy. It's a federal agency. So the fourth world could be bad too. But in general, you're better off if you're part of the fourth world, because then you have options. So, all right, let me see if I can wheel myself out of this viral hole with like all this stuff. It's gonna be hard to do. I don't know if I can do it. Let's see. Oh. Have you ever seen anyone in an airport before? They like put bags on top of each other. It's amazing. All right, let's see. Oop. Cancel. Sorry, dog. I'm just getting used to using this thing. I'm still kind of. Fourth world. Yeah. So the idea is, how do I go normal? Oh, this is like Pop Crush filters. Dude, look at me with my Pop Crush filters. I didn't know you could do that. Now I feel artsy. Artsy. Ethan, what's up, Ethan? Cool. So I got my bags. Scared all the children. If I flip the phone, will it auto flip? Yeah. Cool. It's cool that you can do that with YouTube. All right. So now that I'm kind of set up, adjust myself to walk, and we'll start explaining. So we're talking a bit about the first world, the second world, and the third world. We brought up the fourth world and the values of being a developing nation. Now, looking at what's coming with federal land, Bureau of Land Management, the fourth world might very well be one based on trade agreement relations, TAR. And so you're going to start noticing this term. You probably already noticed TAR, but you're going to start noticing that people that you don't know are using that term are going to be using that term. And that's going to be funny. So expect that. Trade agreement relations. Also expect, what's the other thing we're talking about? Oh yeah, APM. So some of you guys are like, why would you deviate? Andreas, you would deviate with your creepy mask. Why would you deviate from just being, like doing recent Tartarians? And the reason is I'm trying to bring it to like political standard. I want it to be something that everyone can be a part of. I see trade agreement relations, I see the advancement as a political party in a sense, because really an alliance, because you look at around the world, God, these doors are like, whatever happened? All right, but I expect that to be the biggest issue is we don't need to be one party. We need to be a party of movement, so it has to be advancement above left and right. And so right now we're seeing this point, this emergence, right where people are so confused because they're so used to having a vote that doesn't count anyway, and they're about to have instead, that's right, a confederation, they're about to have instead of a vote that doesn't count, a real choice to join in the prequel to Starship Troopers and Star Trek, the violent overthrow of the legitimate source of government, or the legitimization of terrorism, right? Again, with the definition, a non-state actor who commits violence is considered a terrorist. So if you're a state, you can't commit terrorism technically. But if you're not recognized as a state like Palestine, then that's fine. So Palestine can count as terrorists. Israel can't. They can only commit war crimes. They can do other stuff too, but that's kind of the idea of the difference there between a terrorist and a state. So, oh, Ethan, you ordering an Uber or Lyft? Oh man, fair enough. Ethan could easily pick me up because he's a Lyft driver. But I have a buddy coming. Anne's coming to pick me up. She's gonna take me back to Santa Cruz. Looking forward to Ryan Agler. We're gonna start working towards his Terpex thing. This lady thinks I'm filming her, and it's kind of like, I'm not. Selfie. I mean, this whole self-absorbent generation, what do we care about documenting evidence of people parking in front of an airport? By the way, you could totally park in front of this airport now. It's like, where are the police? Like, nobody exists anymore. It's freaking awesome. So, all right, that's, oh wait, Uber drovers have a, I know you said drivers, but drovers sounds good. Uber drovers have a button for non-mask wearers, and you will get the fee. Wait, so if I don't wear a mask, not that I would never, why would I do that? But if I were to not wear this mask, they would charge me extra money on Uber? Or controversially as well. If I were to not charge people, or no, if I were to let people drive without masks, would I make more money? That's another question I have. Okay, so we talked a bit about the fourth world. So we talked a bit about the emergence. Follow your nose, says Amoro. Amoro, baby. I sent you some fucking, I cursed. It's been a long day. I sent you a the Sega CD 32X version of Echo the Dolphin, the entire soundtrack for the game from 1994. I've been listening to Echo just swim around for like hours, and I'm telling you, man, Echo the Dolphin's underrated. One of the coolest, weirdest CIA mind control games ever. I hope you guys, if there's anybody who hasn't seen it, go back and watch the episode where we talk about Sharkabus and CIA dolphins. But it looks like that's something that's going to have to come up again, because I was just looking at some paperwork that Brittany had sent me all about military trained animals. We made some episodes about military trained animals, but it's really interesting, especially when you start looking into genetic modification and where humanity's going, because there could easily be pet soldiers. That's something I see. All right, looking at the chat again. Brett says ha 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 he 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 in Korean. Eugenie says dolphin. Well, he shows a dolphin. Amora says echo the dolphin. Eric says rub it, and I do. Yeah, I mean, and again, Amoro, I brought this up already, Amoro, but Nathan, as you said, and for whatever reason no one did, now it's time to do full disclosure. This is not a plague mask, this is a masquerade mask about plague masks. And I think that should count, and apparently it does, get thumbs up for it. But like, in general, masquerade is, I'm trying to get you guys to focus on that word right this second. God, that lady really thinks I'm shooting a film about her. It's like, do you think I give a damn about your 2008 Prius? Like, it's me, my dreams. All right, so looking again. Love me some CIA porpoises, says Justin Pollock. Well, who doesn't, right? I mean, but and see, memory man, not joining in on that. Which one are you talking about, Memory Man? What are you not joining in on? Porpoise training, genetic modification of dolphins, like Celts, QAnon or whatever. Which is the, don't be a joiner, right? Who wants to be a joiner? But masquerade, he's not joining in on the masquerade. Got it. See, well, here's the thing. I get away with it. Like, I mean, this is technically, the whole thing is they want you to cover your mouth. But you guys remember, God, I always assume everyone remembers everything. 1919, flu influenza, they got it through their eyes and through swimming. So it was the ocean water and the pools, especially rich kids who had pools, or what they would go to community pools, who got it. And all these people had these freaking masks on for 5 years. In 1919 and 1925, almost till the crash of 29, people were still wearing masks so often. And it wasn't working because it was going through your eyes. And, I hate to be like, hey, did you take virology, bro? But, bro, did you take or did you not take virology, bro? Because if you took virology, or even just like nanoscale metrics, and you just understood what the heck an angstrom is, I mean, let alone 10,000 angstroms in size is like less than a human hair. So anybody who thinks that this freaking mask is they don't want me to talk, they don't want me to tell you what's not real, is that this mask doesn't work. But this kind of might, because it covers your nose. Not to mention, Viva Tartary, but I'm keeping myself safe, because I have one of these painter masks, but it's like, it hangs from my fanny pack in such a way that it seems like I'm being suggestive. Like I got some sort of a problem with authority, you know what I mean? And that's not even what's going on. Oh, by the way, my minty bag that Stellium invented, or he reinvented the wheel on. The minty bags are awesome, man. Like, anybody who isn't drinking enough hydroquinone or whatever the hell, just get yourself a tonic water. Like, I don't ever feel sick, and like the airport's safe. They clean everything, but they will. Okay, here's some more stories about flying now. In a flight, and they don't give you water. They don't give you food. They're all freaked out. The only people working at the airport now are like 11. They're all, they're kids that don't have any other options. So you see these dudes, and you're like, dude, you don't even look like one of those old humans. You look like a straight up like 11. These kids are younger than me, you know? I mean, it's freaking me out. This is probably the first time I'm starting to notice people with base authorities that are like, they look like they're kids. And yes, have I gained weight? Thanks, William. Yeah, I have, a little bit. I mean, it looks worse than it really is, but yeah, I think between eating Spain and Minnesota food all the time, I mean, but it could be worse. It could be worse, I think. But yeah, who wants to be so skinny they drown, right? Like, who wants to be so skinny their shadow falls down in the street and just dissipates? Who wants to be so skinny that they have to strap themselves into their bathroom scale so they don't float away? I can go on. Do you want me to make more skinny jokes? Because I grew up skinny and it's no fun. I had like a picture in psychology of 3 circles in a straight line to represent my family, my brother and my mother and father and me. 3 circles in a straight line. But like, dude, the baboons, man, they can sink. You see all these kids that are like super skinny and they just sink all the time. So you don't want to be too skinny either. I mean, but yeah, when it starts to show up right here, this is where I think masks are really going to shine, because they obviously don't do anything. But at least if you put them under your neck, it might pull your neck back, and it might make you look skinnier in the neck, that's pretty much the closest you're going to get to having any benefit from a piece of paper over your face. It's like wearing a tea bag in your mouth with virus, right? Like, it's just soaking up virus. It's the worst thing. Ugh. I'm gonna move my bag. Apparently this lady wants my spot. Alright. Well, let's see here. I should continue to loudly say things that rudely upset everyone who's going with the flow, but pretty soon I think it's gonna have to be time to end up home. Oh yeah, and by the way, that extra weight comes and goes like any bear that goes through hibernation. Like, if you don't eat for a month and then you do, this is what happens to you. Plus, careful with alcohol. Don't drink so many beers, kids. It's not safe. A shame genius Andreas is ruining himself through substances. But I know, right? With my menthol bags and drinking beer sometimes. I mean, it's been, dude, like, seriously, I have been spending the last few months inside. Like, even though in Minnesota you can go outside, it's like, for the most part, people are quarantined. So that doesn't really like go with my whole, you know what? Everyone's being mean. I'm gonna suck up the neck. No, what you're just talking about. Okay. Just kidding. No, it's okay. I really don't care. I'm happy to be fed and not starve crazed in Connecticut right now. I mean, the kids I know who had no food, and had no money and no job, and then the COVID hit, Connecticut's broken. It's no place you want to be. So at least in Minnesota they have food. So that's good. But yeah, I mean, like, doesn't take much effort to go outside once you're back here. Apparently they're going to start closing Saturday. Everyone has to start wearing masks in Minnesota. I don't really know or care the laws in California, because it's not really a state or a country. It's more like a conquered territory, and I try to explain that to them every time they give me trouble. Yeah, guy, right? Isn't that America? I kind of disproved my point. But I would say this. What are some main differences between the United States of America and California? Well, okay, California, find me one fucking American car. Can't do it. You can't do it. It's like, if you did it, it's because you imported it to California. I can't. I'm going to walk over here and just try harder. Oh, look at Dodge. Way down there is a Dodge. Way down there is a Dodge. Be quiet. Other than that, it's like, we live in California, which is where all the Japanese cars are. And you go in the middle of the country and they have all these American cars. Like, if you're right next to Detroit, it feels like you're in North Korea, you know? Because they drive their own cars. It feels like weird. Like, it's not normal. And food's different, obviously. You know, like, they don't eat quinoa every day. Like, I've been eating quinoa again, and that's been good because I was like, whoa, you guys are right. But they have, like, Minnesota's like the 70s in some ways. You have all these people that have brought collective agriculture and farming and starting to work out. So, I wonder if I need to tell Ann where I am. That might be something I need to do too. Let me do that. Texting. Is it gonna close this thing? No. Well, wheat. Yeah, wheat, dude. The Pillsbury Doughboy. Okay, so I'm wearing a shirt yesterday, and it has the Pillsbury Doughboy and it says "Poke me." And this dude who looks like that meme about cowboys, who's always like, well, you know, like the devil whispered in my ear, I am the storm. And then you said to the devil, well, at least I didn't lose my fiddle to some kid in Georgia. You know, that kind of guy. He was like sitting at the bar and he reaches over and he pokes me. And he's like, sorry, I just felt like I had to do it. And I was like, that's awesome. So I made friends with this weird cowboy guy named Joe, who works in maintenance of hospitals in some part of Minnesota. And yeah, but okay, we talked about wheat and how wheat explodes and how the gluten-free Ebola, I mean, in that episode, here's the only reason I believe anybody could ever get sick and die right now because of COVID. I saw that South Park gluten-free Ebola, and when I saw that, I realized, because at one point in the episode, one of the guys yonder, he says, there ain't no such thing as gluten-free Ebola, ain't no gluten explosion in your penis. They, by the way, explode your penis. So he goes and he eats some gluten just to express that it's a secure and safe method of digesting and metabolizing carbohydrates. And you know what happens to the ATPs inside him? It blows up his penis. So, in other words, I get the feeling that if South Park said that gluten, without the pyramid reversed upside down, could make your penis explode, that could be metaphor for COVID. So and literally that's the closest thing I have to science corroborating the idea that this is real. That's edgy. You're gonna get me in trouble for even just saying that, but COVID is less dangerous than the common cold. Yeah, dude, the common cold sucks. Like, are you kidding me? Like, colds are terrible. But, I mean, you gotta think of it more like this. Can you kill somebody, like in Mission Impossible, with a virus that doesn't spread very easily? Yes. And you can put it places, you can keep it for like 7 to 9 days. Like, and I would recommend watching Mission Impossible, because I just saw that again recently and I realized that is so much about what is happening right now, where agents are waking up and they're like, I didn't give this guy permission to be president. What about my pension and my watch I got at the FBI? You know, like all these CIA agents especially, they're like, dude, I've been living in Shanghai, Hong Kong, you know, whatever, like Laos, Malaysia. I've been living in all these cool places, Paraguay, for sure. And then you're just like, you come home and you're just supposed to do what you're told. Like, no, they're not doing very well with it. So, how do you control people? Center of Disease, CDC. They have legal requirements to enforce in these states, whereas otherwise military is not allowed because of military treaties since World War I or 1880s. They can't do certain kinds of things. And you look into biological chemical warfare, I mean, this is the whole thing with why the Han took over Manchuria, because Manchuria had 100 million people before biological chemical warfare that happened. Ethan says some strains of it are like the common cold. There are at least 17 variations, but ignorance is bliss, eh? That's what I'm saying, man. Ignorance is awesome. No, not having it's awesome. Going places and seeing things is awesome. But yeah, I would just say, believing that there's no way that you could die ever, it's not great. It doesn't work very well. I've had too many friends die. Dude, my friend got eaten by a shark this year. Like, things are crazy in the world, okay? During COVID. So, I mean, like, that's the other... Okay, let me tell you guys a story. If I ever make a movie, hopefully this will be like one of the first scenes. I remember when I was going to school, or was it coming home from school? I think it was coming home from... No, I might have been going to school. So it was one morning, I didn't want to wake up. I was going to school. It was like a Tuesday. I was in fourth grade. And my dad doesn't like to listen to music in the radio in the morning. Rightfully so, if you remember what the year's music were like when the top hits were just, greasy. So we were listening to the BBC. And on the BBC, this guy comes on and he says, a man tried to kill himself earlier this month. About 2 weeks ago, he decided to kill himself in all the best ways possible. And I'm paraphrasing. It's like, he was quite convinced that if there was one problem with another, he was very certain he wanted to die. So he hanged himself off of a cliff with a shotgun tied to his toe and poisoned himself. Am I missing something? I think that's about it. Because when he jumps off the cliff, though, as he's falling, he pulls the click on the gun and it shoots the rope. So he shoots the rope and then he's free. So he falls down into the water below because he was worried if he fell and it was solid and it hurt. So at least he did it over some water. He lands in the rapids and he breaks his leg on the rocks and he gets pulled through the rapids. Now, I told you he ate some poison. The water was so cold, it made him throw up the poison. Get sober, Andreas, and you will be world famous. So, define sober. I'm not even like what do you guys think I'm on? Like, I'm crazy, but and I've lost faith in humanity, and there's a freaking holocaust of, media lies everywhere. I'll admit I'm, definitely weird, but yeah, no, I'm not on drugs right now. I mean, I could be, like, I won't pretend I couldn't, but I function better when I'm traveling alone across the country without any drugs in my system or on my persons. You know what I mean? It's just not worth it. This, though, is like one of the first times I've flown where I didn't smoke in an airplane. I didn't have a vape or anything in years. And so I did have some tobacco snuff from Bolivia, because I haven't had that in a while. But yeah, this is me sober. Like, you should notice that I have high energy when I'm sober, and when I slept enough and whatever. That's kind of my deal. But yeah, get sober and I'd run the world. Man, I wish that were true, kinda, because then I would just stay high and I wouldn't have to worry about anything ever again. Okay, so the dude gets, and I think you are better than fake celebs. Thanks, Rico. Suave. So, all right, we're almost to this story. The dude shoots his hanged neck noose, lands in the water, vomits up his poison, carried off by the water, and what else? Oh yeah, his legs are broken. Eventually gets taken by the rapids to the shore about 10 miles down, and to the hospital, where about, as I said on the radio show as we're listening on the way to school 2 weeks later, he dies of pneumonia and broken injuries. Painfully, slowly, the worst way to go. So, I forget why that was people that are worried about death, people that think they're gonna die from COVID and stuff like, it's like, I'm not saying you can't die, don't get me wrong, just don't be afraid of death, be afraid of not living, is always like the fundamental message. Alright, I think I need to call to figure out where my ride is, because I think they're probably just circling the airport waiting for me to get the heck off of this call. But I'll get back on. But I just wanted to make it clear to you guys, like, it's a lot safer than they say. Write into the damn airlines and tell them they have to put you one person per row, I think would be smart, because the fact that, it's not going to do anything, but I'd like to have some space. And if we all just complained and said it was for our own health, like, the hell are they going to do about it? All right, Rico, God bless you, memory man, so great, I love your music. Brett, see you soon. Definitely not Eric DeBay, be yourself. And Ethan, thank you for the data. We're gonna get you on soon. We need to talk on some stuff. about this very soon, and I can't wait to see you either. It's gonna be in a couple days. And Thomas, yeah, God bless you. Stay healthy, and careful with drugs in general, kids, because like, if you want to be clever and weird, you just be sober like a 6-year-old. You don't need to take a bunch of stupid crap. But yeah, all right, and yeah, keep these healthy people healthy. God bless. Love you guys.